Want to plan your wedding? Here comes the guide. Wedding organization in recent years represents many things on the to-do list, i.e., the list of mandatory things that must be done to make that day a fairy tale day. From designing the guest list and wedding invitations, choosing the best restaurant, ballroom, or a more romantic place to say yes, to a professional photographer, music, menu, choosing a place for a civil wedding, and choosing a religious institution for the wedding ceremony. What are your priorities in wedding organization? It is essential to set priorities for your wedding because, based on them, you will make other decisions more easily. Determining the wedding budget is undoubtedly the first of those priority steps. Based on that and the list of importance of everything related to the wedding, it will be easier for you to reject some little things that may not be necessary or important to you. Finding a perfect wedding venue. A wedding restaurant has to meet several criteria. Some couples pay attention primarily to the restaurant's appearance, while others consider it very important that the guests are comfortable. Some choose a large wedding hall and a tucked-away more intimate space. But the first rule of thumb with wedding restaurants is to start looking for them early because, for example, if you live in Maryland, once you start asking around, you won't believe how many wedding venues in Maryland or elsewhere on your wish list are already booked. It is a prerequisite for everything else. Planning the costs of wedding organization. For the wedding organization to bring the newlyweds as little stress as possible and as much joy as possible, it is necessary to define a list of essential things, from the most important to the least important details. And to do as many items on the list as possible, you need to calculate the approximate budget for the wedding. You can make a cost calculator only when you put everything you need for your wedding on paper. And that's a lot. That's why at the top of the list of priorities you have to put what you have to pay for and without which the wedding would be unthinkable, and at the bottom of this long list, write down the things that are not necessary for you, no matter how much you want them. When to notify guests about the wedding? Under normal conditions and circumstances, wedding invitations should be sent 4 to 12 months before the big day. If, on the other hand, you decide to deliver the invitations personally, it is recommended that you do it a month to a month and a half before the wedding. Whether you're sending or hand-delivering the invitations in person, keep in mind that 3 weeks before the date is a maximum you can extend delivery to, so you'll need to plan accordingly. If you are sending by regular mail, count a couple of days before the shipment arrives. You will receive a return receipt with a registered shipment, and in this way, you will be sure that your invitation has been delivered. Wedding decoration. Do you want your wedding to exude luxury, elegance, romance, uniqueness, or style? Whatever note you choose, the decoration will make your wedding the way you want it to be. Wedding decoration is just as important as the wedding ceremony itself. From the flower arrangements on the tables and a unique bouquet for the wedding table to the Biedermeier, the decoration of the entire wedding table and tables for guests, to the complete decoration of the space, it is something that gives the entire ceremony an important stamp and leaves a trace of your wedding. That is why it is essential to plan it according to your and your partner's wishes or simply let the professionals decorate the entire space for that particular day. Hairstyle and makeup. A wedding is a day when only the best is good enough. Makeup and hairstyle are certainly the most essential items for every bride, in addition to choosing a wedding dress. Therefore, be very careful when choosing your hairstyle and type of makeup. Of course, you will entrust everything to the skilled hands of professionals, but even they, without cooperation with you, will not be able to help you to make your style fit entirely into your personality. And that's a winning combination when you think about what your hair and makeup will be that day. Take care about necessary documents. For everything related to a mandatory civil wedding, check at least twice because it is not a rare case that you forget about the documents required for your wedding in addition to choosing a restaurant, music, wedding dress, and hairstyle. Go through all the details with your partner. When the municipal wedding should be booked, what documents you need for it, and what documents the godparents need. To avoid making a mistake, ask if the registrar from the given municipality where the restaurant is located goes in the field because maybe in planning your perfect day, you want to say your faithful yes in front of all the guests. Religious wedding. The pledge of fidelity and love before God is one of the most sacred acts in every religion. Unlike a municipal wedding, a religious wedding is by law a matter of choice, that is, of the newlyweds' faith. Marriage is a religious obligation, which implies a serious approach to the sanctity of the marriage union, which is the family's foundation. In the past, a religious wedding could only be performed when the newlyweds entered a civil marriage. However, modern times have relaxed the strict religious regulations, so now it is possible to say yes in most religious institutions rather than in the municipality. Gifts for guests. The newlyweds have long since realized that happiness lies in giving, and for the past few years, they have been paying particular attention to what they will present to the guests at their wedding. It is a special sign of attention for the guests when they find a beautifully wrapped detail on a plate or next to it. Not because of the gift itself but because of the feeling of appreciation. Please subscribe to our channel Best for Bride for future updates and visit our website www.bestforbride.com.